Welcome back to Let's Play Gran Turismo 4 Part something. I don't remember what it was, so we'll just leave it at that. So we got our Zonda here. I have equipped it with nitrous, racing hards, and I also bought super hards as well, just in case. Because it's enduro time. I don't remember where I left off in the last episode as far as commentary goes, but we finished off the normal special condition events finally. All you have left are those as a hard, which will come later. And like the recent way I've been doing the LP is I'd get like one certain section of it done, then I'd go do an endurance race, get another section done, go back to endurance races, etc. So we're just moving on to our next one. Definitely not one of the shorter ones, but definitely not anywhere near as long as the others. Infineon World Sports, which is 2 3/4 of an hour, which is a weird time, but yeah. And let's see how this goes. I haven't practiced in the Zonda, so this could go really good or really, really terrible. Ugh. Well, that's mildly irritating. I'm gonna take a look in the garage and see what other options we have, because instead of restarting that over and over again, I think we should just see what else we got. All right, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll try the R390. Give it some love. I don't remember if I did this stuff. Screw it, we'll wash it. Right. 787B in here now, along with the Courage or Courage, whatever floats your boat. Looks like I took care of that at some point. Lowered that quite a bit. I'm gonna try that same camber and tow setup, except I'll just go -2 in the rear. I think I'll just roll with that. Do I have the vertigo? I do not, and the vertigo is really trash at this game, both with braking and handling. Alright, well, 4th attempt. This time with a different car. 119 A-spec points this time around. Yikes, that's a significant drop. But, maybe this time it'll actually be doable. Hopefully, because I don't like restarting things over and over and over and over again. And I also got to get used to driving this thing, so that'll be a trip. Man, this thing revs really low. I'm used to the R89 and R80 or 92 sounds, so it's kind of weird shifting that early. Oh boy. Kind of sloppy. And oh no, the panels pushed me into the grass, and that'll happen. Holy wheel spin, jeez. Grass is really deadly in this game. Come on now, get out of the way. Significantly better acceleration. Handling not so much, because of that. Just gotta suffer my way through this for a few laps, bear with me. Looks like the rear tires are getting pretty spanked. Oh boy. The brakes on this thing are garbage, I can notice that right off the bat. Once again. Now I'm driving like I drove when I was 12, just ramming into everything. At least I took the lead, even while driving this sloppy. It's all going to come down to pit strat, pretty much. Streaming's going to be about an hour. Oh my god. Reading chat in the middle of a corner. 200 IQ. Put super hard on the rear, then my wheel spin will be absolutely crazy and I'll just spin out everywhere. The game really doesn't like it when you put harder tires on the back. If anything, I could... Well, I don't even know if that would be a good idea either. I was going to say I could put mediums on the front, but... It angers me how low this car revs. Angers. There was like a long time ago, somebody actually experimented with the racing tires on this game. And turns out his test was on the Laguna Seca 200 mile endurance. And it turns out, I think racing softs were the fastest choice overall, and super hards were the slowest. Even with like pit strategy included on like a 2.5 hour race. Racing hards were like number 2. Well, yeah, I already said that. Did I? No, I said it right. Brain's not working while I'm driving, like all... well, I don't know. Point proven. Fucking hell. What are track limits? Even while sloppy, I have a huge lead. Super softs wear more slowly than softs. Logic. Yeah, if I'm gonna get at least over 100 A-spec points, it's gonna be this one. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the Viper will be easier to drive, but it will be slower. It may be worse on tires, I don't know. Yeah, GT3 has by far the worst tire wear of all the GT games. It's ridiculously fast. Getting a bit of a sputtering here on my screen. Gross. I don't think I'm going to restart just to tune the car anymore. I'll see how this attempt goes for at least like the first 1 or 2 pit cycles. How easy is it to get to, or how easy is it to get this wheel on PC? I mean, it's the same process for all wheels. Maybe you'll have to do like some weird witchcraft and whatever actual wheel software interface thingy you have for it, like inverted pedals or something weird like that, but other than that, it's pretty much like the same thing. You just install the plugin, set all your options, map all the buttons, and should be good. And also, like, change the in-game options to blah blah and blah. Excellent description, blah blah blah. Tires are in the lime green, so as far as like my experience goes, this is usually like the halfway point as far as tire life goes. So I should be pitting at around like lap 13 or 12. Hopefully, because the AI's in lap is 13. And with this much of a lead, I don't really see them catching up either. Anybody ever told me that I kind of sound like Linus? I don't think my voice is high-pitched enough to be like Linus. I think I have a very average, typical American voice. Typical. I think it's safe to say I've gotten used to this thing finally. Took a while, but my lead keeps growing even after now, because when I was in the Zonda, by lap 5, they were destroying me. Doesn't seem to be the case this time around, thankfully. What was my least favorite car in GT4? This game specifically. Usually, like, my least favorite car of, like, any GT game is going to be one that's hard to beat in, like, some random event. I'm trying to think what car that is for this one. If I can, like, not go too wide on that hairpin, that'd be great. I always kind of cheese it. But yeah, least favorite car in GT4. Ugh. To bad I can't find any ISO without control. Well, I have some good news for you, because you can use your physical disk, as everyone should. Because piracy is wrong. What is your best time on Tsukuba Circuit? 46 something in my hacked Miata. "22-second lead." I think the last time I paid attention to that was going into lap 9, and it was like 19 seconds. Tires are still solid yellow. That's a good sign as well. I think we got our run here finally. Still trying to think of what my least favorite car in GT4 is, by the way. There's got to be like one obvious car that everybody does not like racing against that I just can't think of. I guess it's going to be the... oh boy. Too wide. Too wide. My brain doesn't have enough bandwidth to think about things while driving. I guess I'm going to go with the Chaparral 2J because it ends up in the American Championship. And that's like everybody's problem car. Although it is cool, in the game specifically, because of that reason, I guess I'll pick that as my least favorite. I do have other cars that I don't like, but not because of GT4. It's because of other reasons. Bonk. Slipstream will do that. Can I survive one more lap? I can. But I don't think I would want to, because I'll just lose time anyways. And over the course of the entire race, I might lose more time trying to go an extra lap than just taking another pit or two. So we're going to stick to the hards. And leaving the pits, we should be just behind the R92 or Minolta. Do I like driving the 2J? Not really. It's a really tricky one to drive. Okay, ran by the 77. I'm surprised I actually left the pits in front of it. It's trying to bully me now that it knows that I can beat it. Lol. What are my FOV settings? So previously it was... the only thing I changed was aspect to 1 and overscan factor to 0.8. But recently I've changed it. I think my overscan factor is now 0.95, and the one I changed was distance, and I think that's 240. Come to think of it, I don't think I adjusted it for this game save, but it looks like this in Chase Cam. But it's also the one I used in the JDM 8K video from like 2 weeks ago, if you want to reference that. The reason why I changed it is because overscan factor changes your FOV. Well, technically it doesn't, I don't think. But it makes it look like your FOV is different in every camera, even like replay cams and stuff like that. That was a terrible approach to this corner, by the way. And I kind of wanted to bring it back down to default, because I think it was like throwing my sense of speed off too much in a lot of corners and therefore making me struggle a little bit. So I changed it back to make it look mostly normal. And in the chase cam, the FOV isn't altered. The camera just sits further behind the car. And I think that improved it significantly, and I could drive a lot better because of it. So that's pretty much my reason for changing it back. But it all just comes down to personal preference. Is there any trick to reduce tire wear? Driving slower, probably. Or, I don't think tuning suspension will actually really change tire wear, though. I need to do, like, some really in-depth testing with that. Like, max out my camber and test the tire wear on it, see if it makes a difference. Max out my toe, test it. Because I don't think anyone's really tested that before. Yeah, I don't think that would really make a difference. Don't want to try to pass the Panos right there and screw up. I'll just cheese my way around. Good luck, see you soon, hopefully. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Al Ghul. I hope I said that right. Probably not, like always. 787 wants his revenge. Yeah, all the Group C cars go through tires pretty quickly. There's a weird bug in this game where in the Group C cars, the rear tires will start chirping for no reason, even on like a flat surface. I guess it's like a bug with a downforce or something. But they'll just like chirp away, going in a straight line, and like wear out your rear tires way too quickly. Oh, and by the way, all the cars waited for lap 14 to pit, so usually it's 13, but oh wait, only one of them pitted. 787's still out. Uh-oh. Hope that's not going to be an issue later on. I think they might have to wait in the pits a little bit longer too for fuel. I don't know if they lose enough for that. Starting to get a little sloppy because I'm reading chat a little too much. Whoops. It's my favorite vacuum cleaner sound in GT4. Lol. Probably the Nike one, 2022. Space vacuum. How much is this race going to be? If you mean length, then it's 2 hours 45 minutes. Prize credits is 500,000. A little bit late on the brakes right there. Is there any minor difference between the stealth and regular cars? So the stealth ones are obviously used. So you'll have to change the oil in them and then do a rigidity refresher thing. I don't know what it's called. And I can't remember if I actually did it with my 787B before I started the LaSarf 24-hour, but by like it was either the 10 or 14-hour mark, the 787 Stealth Edition became so unstable that I was spinning out almost every lap. Mostly at like the end of the Mulsanne and approaching Indianapolis. And it was very frustrating. And that was because of the rigidity wear on the car. Pretty sure buying a brand new one, it wouldn't have that problem throughout the race. Oh my goodness, I stayed within track limits for once. Pescarolo staying out of the pit still. Is drifting possible with the steering wheel? Well, it's not really possible at all with this game's physics. It is possible, yeah, but it's so hard to the point where you pretty much might as well just say that it's not. You can't really link corners at all. Have I ever played Driver 2? I have not. .77's 45 seconds behind. I think we're pretty solid here. Except my driving skills. That's still questionable. Good with driving, but not with sliding, pretty much. GT3 is pretty decent with drifting. I mean, you can make almost any car slide around a corner. Although GT3 is not... It's possible to play with a wheel, but definitely not better than a pad or controller at all. You still have hope in some kind GT4 modding scene like... Oh, wow. Reading chat be like... Yeah, Valencia isn't really... I wouldn't really call that like heavy modding, because... I mean, I'm sure it was hard to actually pull off, but Valencia was from Tourist Trophy. It wasn't like a custom track or anything. And they just found a way to import it because the game has like the same engine. But it's not like it was custom or anything. Nobody's really dived into like actual GT4 modding still. Mostly it's just cheat engine or PCSX2 plugins like the texture modding thing. What wheel am I using? I'm using a Logitech G29. It's pretty meh. It does a job, but it's kind of loud and kind of cheap-ish feeling, but okay, way too early on the throttle. Okay. That was close. Almost clipped the wall there. Battle lap the Prescarollo for the first time. Nice, nice, nice. What do I think about GT7? I really hope it's not Gran Turismo Sport remastered, because it really looks like it, but I'm just hoping they have a really solid career or offline mode, whatever they're going to call it. But I really don't like how they're using the exact same HUD as Sport. Like, they couldn't even change it up a little bit. It just seems like Sport with more features. Although, like, all the new stuff is good, yes. Except for the classic tracks returning, that's debatable because they're changing them so much. And they're not going to be the same. I guess they have to do that for some stupid FIA rules or whatever, but modern gaming devs need to realize that not everybody likes playing online, so of course it's different to Sport. Well, yeah, some things are, but generally it looks about the same as far as like the UI and the HUD goes. And therefore it's going to feel a lot like Sport 2. But I'm going to have to play it first before I actually get a real opinion on it. See how the physics are and the sounds, customization. I'm really glad that they're bringing real tuning back and not some stupid percentage changer. Also, I just realized I didn't pit that lap. Whoops. Probably not the best idea. And I didn't really like Tokyo Expressway that much in Sport, because I just bounced off the walls all the time, and if I gotta go slow enough to avoid walls, it makes me just feel slow overall. I'd really like if they brought back Special Stage Route 5. That's one of my favorite tracks. If it actually launches on PC, I'm going to insta-buy it. I wouldn't get your hopes up, because Sony is real tight with polyphony. Matter of fact, I think they own polyphony, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And much like a lot of other people, I'm only buying a PS5 for GT7. If I don't like it, then I'll sell it. But I'm sure I'll just hang on to it anyway. Yeah, I really hope they bring back El Capitan. That would be nice. Some leaks suggested it might come on PC. Yeah, I mean, a lot of leaks do end up becoming true, but you gotta think of it as like a business/marketing perspective. If Sony allows it to be released on PC as well, it won't really hurt Polyphony, I don't think. In fact, I think it'll actually help them because they'll get more sales overall. But Sony might take a hit from it because people, or a lot less people, will be buying PS5s for that game, and it no longer becomes an exclusive title. Yeah, Sita Diaria is also my favorite track, but I hope they do have like a good amount of very technical, challenging tracks like Sita, because those are so fun to drive on. And just understeering straight off the track. One thing I am salty about it though is that, remember in the first trailer for GT7 last year, they showed the world map, and there was a dot right next to where Pikes Peak was, or is, I should say, and I was thinking, oh my god, is Pikes Peak finally returning? Like, since GT2, and GT2 was just like a super simplified version of it, because they obviously can't port the real thing into a game like that. I was getting really hyped for Pikes Peak, and then it turns out, oh, it's just a random Colorado Springs track. RIP. Which Colorado Springs is like literally 30 minutes away from Pikes Peak. I went there early last year. Pretty dope. They got good dope too, I'll tell you that. Yeah, if anything, if it comes out on PC, it'll be a lot later. They'll do the whole bait and switch, like, oh, nope, PS5 only, and then once everyone buys a PS5 that wants one, sight, now you can get it on PS or PC. I think like the 3 tracks I want to return the most that haven't been revealed so far are El Capitan, Sita Diaria, and Red Rock Valley. I think everybody is on board with Red Rock Valley, because like almost everybody that I've heard give their like opinion on it, almost everyone wants Red Rock Valley back. And with Polyphony's recent fetish for banked corner oval tracks from Sport, it doesn't make sense for them not to put it in. It's a perfect choice. I mean, they already turned High Speed Ring into one of those stadium-style banked corner oval-ish track things. Red Rock Valley is a good choice for that, too. I think like one of the things I am most excited for about GT7 that I've wanted for a long time was the daytime cycle and the changing weather conditions. I thought that was the coolest thing for GT5, although personally I don't think GT5 was that good of a game overall. I didn't really play it that much. But to see it actually coming back, since it was not included in Sport, I'm super excited for that. I'm going to get a VR headset and probably just drive like stock JDM cars or stock USDM cars at night in the rain on the Nordschleife. I want to do VR stuff so bad. As far as like racing goes, of course, I'm not going to hop on VR chat and talk to anime avatars. Or am I? Rainy weather in all tracks is confirmed for GT7. Yes. Super stoked about that. And one little detail that I noticed in the main trailer that was released, I think it was in September, whenever it came out, that one of the last shots showing Tsukuba, the bridge on Tsukuba, it showed one part of the track being more dry than the other, like the part with all the rubber laid down on it. So I wonder if like tire rubber on the track changing like the grip levels is going to be a factor in that. I haven't heard anything about it. I've just seen it in the trailer and I haven't really kept up with it that much. That would be really sweet if that was a thing too. But you could see like chunks of rubber laying on the track in a few clips, like that one for example. The clip of the skyline sliding on Tokyo Expressway, that was another shot where you can see it. I just love all the details they're throwing into it. I mean, if they're throwing in dynamic weather and daytime, dynamic time and weather, I should say, they better have some solid endurance races instead of this 24-minute crap or just not even including it at all. Because that stuff, like, the main factor of that stuff is in endurance racing, where it could be sunny at the start of the race and thunderstorming at night. It needs to happen. Daytona 24-hour, Le Start 24-hour, Nürburgring 24-hour. They need all the endurance races. Just put them in for the people who want to do them. Instead of like every game dev dumbing every game down now for every single player to be able to get platinum trophy or whatever on. There's going to be dry line and wet line. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I haven't been able to confirm or deny it yet, though. Also, I'm about to lap the Sauber. Jeez. What happened to you? Seem to be struggling quite a bit, huh? Oh, I clipped a little bit of an invisible barrier there, if y'all noticed. Pretty sure I didn't touch that corner. What is the worst Gran Turismo, in my opinion? I haven't played every single one. I tried to play 6 a few years ago, but I can't even play it because of that stupid, like, downloading all the updates at once bricks the game bug. I didn't bother trying again. And I haven't played GT1 because GT2 exists. But of the ones I have played, I'd probably say Sport is my least favorite because I've spent the least amount of time on it for several reasons. And replay's finished recording, if that matters. But yeah, I'd probably just go with Sport because it had by far the least. Well, yeah, I think Sport had the least amount of content when it was released, and I don't like waiting for games to finish through DLC and updates, so we'll just go with that because of that reason. The reason why I don't like GT5 is those sounds are unbearably hideous to listen to. That's like easily my #1 reason. So yeah, like GT4 is one of my favorites because it has my favorite physics, my favorite track selection, and probably my favorite career progression as well. GT3 just doesn't have enough cars to live up to GT4, or tracks for that matter. It's still a really good game for 2001. Yeah, 24 hour is a little bit ridiculous with only 6 cars, but I guess they wanted to be one of those games to throw them in. One-minute lead over the 787B. I really hope GT7 doesn't require like a year's worth of updates for it to become like a good game. I really hope that's not the case. Especially if they're focusing on a career mode. Yeah, multi-class endurance racing. Haven't heard any news about that though, so... Or at least, like, the ability to make a completely custom grid, add, like, every single car you want to race against. Then you could sort of do multi-classing that way. But for endurance racing, they need at least 32 cars in the race, minimum. 32 AI. Well, technically 31, 32 being you. Multi-class online racing. Yeah, I really hope it's not filled with DLC either. DLC really kills games for me. That's why I don't like most modern ones. They sell like 50% of the game for you at full price, and then the other 50% you have to pay another $60 for, usually. But the free updates were cool in Sport, I'll give them that. That was very nice. I hope they have challenging license tests again and driving missions. If they were going to be in the game, though, we probably would have heard it by now, but... Oh boy, understeer like crazy. Cold tires. My restream window keeps lying to me. Restream says 73 viewers, and YouTube says 66, so which one is it? I've been fed lies. It'd be super cool to see a bunch of, like, Gran Turismo 2 cars return in GT7. Like the ones that only showed up in GT2. Like the 300ZX GT500 car, or LM car, or whatever it was. Some R33 GT500 cars. HKS drag cars. The Cultus. Venturi. All that cool stuff. Apparently it takes about 3 months to build one car for new GT games. That's a long time for a single car. Guess it depends on how much detail they're putting into it. If they bring back the Mines R32 and R33, I'll probably coom myself, if I'm being honest. And even like the rare stuff, like the Autech Skylines, the FB RX-7, I really, really want that. So bad, because I actually want to buy one IRL. And like the cool wagons as well, like Stagia's Legacy WRX wagons, Pulsar GTIR. There's a Toyota hatchback wagon thing that I like. I forgot the name of it though. I don't think I've seen it in a GT game. There's a screenshot I saw of like the used car dealership on GT7. A RX-7 Spirit R was 100,000 credits, and a Viper GTS was 90,000. We've gotten to the point where RX-7s are more expensive than Vipers, and that pains me so much to say that personally, because I'm an RX-7 fanboy. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm annihilating both the Sauber and the 787 this much. The AI are just that slow. Not slow enough to be beaten with a Zonda with somebody with my skill level, but still. Yeah, they really need to bring back, like, the crazy hard events, as rage-inducing as they are. Bring back a Mission 34 tier thing, or whatever the hard ones from GT5 and 6 were. I'm sure they will have some kind of challenges like that. They just... probably just won't be as, memorable as driving missions. And going into the gravel. Brand new tracks, I haven't heard of any. As far as like ones that aren't returning from older games or sport. Maybe there have been some that popped up, but as far as I know, I haven't heard of any. Isn't Silverstone one of them actually? Actually, yeah, I think Silverstone is in GT 6 or 5 or something, I don't know. Haven't played him enough. Oh boy. Wait, I thought the Sauber was way far behind. How do they get... Maybe it's just pitting a lot earlier than them. I don't know. I paid some attention, but not that much. Was Daytona in any other GT game? It was in GT 5 and 6. I think we're getting more loops in Tokyo Expressway. It'd be cool if they just implemented Route 5 into Expressway somewhere, like make it branch off of it, and just plop Route 5 in somewhere. They could easily do it, but I don't know if they're making... Is Tokyo Expressway like accurate to real life, or is that like a fictional track? Because if it's accurate to real life, then they won't implement Route 5 to it. But if it is fictional, then they could. And yeah, distracted again. Nice. It's real life, yeah, then they probably won't do that. Okay, just sudden understeer straight off the track. Route 246. I'm pretty sure they'll put that in. If not on release, and at some update in the future. At least that's my guess. Yeah, if they don't have midfield back, it'll be really salty. Very upsetty. Because midfield is one of my favorite original tracks. I've only heard of Deep Forest, and as far as like in the teaser ones, I've only heard of Deep Forest 1 getting revealed before like they showed actual footage of it. I think Grand Valley was teased, but I don't know if it was confirmed. And Apricot Hill was teased too. Which the second half of Apricot Hill after the hairpin is pretty much completely different. Go figure. Oh, at some point I got a 119.7. Wonder when that happened. I don't really care for Rome that much. It wasn't really one of my favorites. Both the old and newer Rome. Well, Infineon, aka Sonoma, because that's what it's called now, beyond GTA 7. I hope so, because I like it, but I really don't think it will. And just understeer straight off the track. Nice. I hope I can, like, have the option to not get that bonus, or any bonuses for that matter, at the start of a career, because I like the grind aspect of Gran Turismo career modes. I don't like being handed a decent car and 100k credits right off the bat. Kinda ruins it a little bit. Matter of fact, just like at the start of the game, give people the option if they want to do the full career mode or if they want to do a shortened version of it. That way everybody's pleased. Instead of just making it short and easy for everybody. Don't see how that would be too hard to implement. Like if people want to do 24-minute races, then they can choose that. If they want to do the full 24 hours, they can choose that. But obviously with like some sort of benefit for the longer ones. I'm definitely going to try to get a platinum trophy on GT7 though. I'm getting all the PlayStation trophies for it. I've never gotten one, now that I think about it. Looks like I gotta pit this lap. Should do some B-spec. Well, this is an A-spec only playthrough. Because I'm a masochist. But yeah, I still have 0 B-spec miles on this playthrough, and I plan on keeping it that way. For flexing purposes. That was perfect. Wow. Kind of surprised myself right there, not gonna lie. Yep, just give people the option right at the start. easier option for the casuals and the normal, aka longer option for the enthusiasts. Let me just bang the rev limiter exiting the pits, lol. Well, if they added snow tires, then I'm pretty sure there's going to be snow tracks. And cold tires, I gotta remember that. Cup races in. I'm trying to read chat while driving. It's kind of difficult. Twice as much. I mean, more championship races would be nice, I guess, but they just gotta make sense. Can't really have a bunch of repetitive ones. One thing that will be cool is earlier we were talking about multi-class racing. If you go to an endurance race, for example, 24 Hours of Le Mans, you can have the choice to either be in the LMP class or the GT class, and you just have to win for your class, and then you win the event. Instead of just being forced to be in the fastest racing class every time. That'd be a neat option to have as well. Yeah, there's Rally in GT7. They showed a gameplay of it. I don't know if it's going to be like real Rally or Polyphony style, but you getting your G29 today or tomorrow? Nice. Okay, my game's being really slow right now. Thank you, Windows 10 or OBS, whoever's fault it is. It's throwing my sins of speed off quite a bit. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Boom. Bam. Thanks for your tutorial videos. Hey, no problem. No problemo. Well, they bring back the rad tracks from GT3 and 4 to 80 Maze to Trial Mountain. Why did I say Trial Mountain? Smoky Mountain. They probably just want to make new stuff instead of recycling a bunch of old things, even though they are recycling a bunch of old things now. Even though they're really different. I just really want Pikes Peak as far as rally tracks go. I could care less about anything else. Surprise Autobring hasn't been revealed. It's probably not a good track for online racing, and they'd have to change it way too much for it to be a good one. Because everybody only cares about online crap these days, and I don't know, they want to be weird like that. How long is this endurance? 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we got about an hour 35 to go. Ordered a handbrake and a shifter, nice. I'm just missing a handbrake for mine, but I'm probably going to change wheels at some point anyways, so. And I barely even use the manual transmission shifter, because GT4 doesn't have that feature. It goes to 787 finally. Risky overtake on the Panos and almost pushed me off track. Waiting for my PS4 to be fixed, and it's been 4 months. Yikes. Off track once again. Gotta love it. I think I've turned my PS4 on like maybe twice in the past 2 years. Hello. Oh, that was a Twitch follow thing, because I still have my Twitch link to my whatchamacallit, my Streamlabs, even though I don't use Twitch anymore because, you know, Twitch does Twitch things. But regardless, thank you, person, for the follow. Couldn't catch the name. I'm just a wonderful person, aren't I? Oh, that was you who followed. Well, don't expect any Twitch streams anytime soon, because, you know. I just like YouTube as a platform more overall. Still not perfect, but way better than anything Twitch has to offer. The 24-hour races on this game, you cannot save mid-race. So you pretty much have to leave your PS2 on overnight, or if you're on PCSX2, you use a save state if you want to close it. And since that is a feature that should have been on this game to begin with, I utilized that for my 24-hour race, and I feel no shame for it. Oh, but emulation is cheating because you're doing things you can't do on the PS. I don't care. Tryhards. I'ma do it. I was just poking fun at the people who actually cared about that. B-Spec just kinda soils a lot of the fun for you. Oh boy, another one. Fran also following on Twitch, even though it means nothing. Lol. Thank you regardless. In all seriousness, though, I probably should just go ahead and unlink that from my Streamlabs. Which I'll probably do at the end of the stream. And that's what happens when you go a millimeter into the grass on this game. Death. Then I need a downshift. Good thing money shifting isn't a thing in this game. Engine damage would, like mechanical damage overall, would be a really cool thing to have in 7. With, of course, the option to turn it on or off, depending if you're a casual or not. Like blowing your engine by over-revving it or something like that. Yeah, I know, right? The subgrowth has been crazy the past few weeks. It's those random videos that do lucky in the algorithm. I was at 3,000 not long ago. And every stream I gained like another dozen or so, because I guess people subscribe to use the chat, so that strat is working very effectively. What car am I driving? The R390 GT1 Stealth. I don't use a chase cam because it's harder to drive in, and I'm using the wheel thing anyways. I was trying to use a Zonda at first, but I was just struggling too much with it. Oh boy, looking at chat, straight into a wall. It'd be like that sometime. Also, I think that was supposed to be my end lap. This tire wear on this car is like really borderline if you pit or not. Doesn't really hurt or help you. How about the F1? Well, the F1's almost impossible to drive to begin with on a wheel. Second, I don't have it. Third, it'd be way too easy if I did know how to drive it good. Understeer like crazy because my fronts are spanked. Yeah, the force feedback and the crazy downforce. On the chicane on midfield specifically, I spin out on that almost every single time with the Formula GT. I spin out on a lot of corners with it, actually. It's going to be the worst whenever it comes around, or whenever the time comes to do the Formula GT Championship. Especially on Lasarth with all the force feedback going down the Mulsanne. That's gonna suck. It already sucked enough with the 787. Nürburgring, I don't even want to think about that race. Or the Formula GT race on Nürburgring, I should say. It's probably going to be the worst race in the entire game, if I'm honest. Quite late on the brakes because I had 2 seconds of slipstream. Woo. Oh, come on. Oh, the McLaren F1 GT. I could probably use that in this race too, but I don't have that unlocked either. Why did I refuel? Why not? I don't think fuel really affects the weight on this game. It's never really been tested before. McLaren's in GT4, I remember this. It's under a BMW in the dealership. It's the BMW McLaren F1 on this game. Based on your profile pic, is my favorite car the RX-7? Yes, it is. Oh, sketchy. You refuel fast enough in this game anyways. It doesn't take up extra time in the pits unless you have like less than 3/4 of a tank or something like that. I think it's like if you have less than 30 liters maybe, it'll actually take up a little bit extra time. Something around that. I think I had quite a bit of wrist pain whenever I first started using a wheel in this game, like summer of 2020. I don't remember how long it took for my wrist to get used to it, but I do have like the last few times I went karting actually, I had really bad wrist pain because of the angle of the wheel. Like after one session, I was pretty much wiped out. Yeah, 119.794. I don't remember where I got that, or I didn't notice it, but give Compared to all my other laps, that was really solid. Oh yeah, I should take off March 4th and 5th, etc. for work. I don't know if they'll accept it though, because I'm already taking a few days off in February because I'm going skiing in Colorado, so that's gonna be fun. Oh no, questions are fine in live streams as long as it's not too tech support related, like help me with this or that in PCSX2, please, even though I don't know the answer to it. Almost annihilated the Panos there. What's up, Saw? How you doing today? I just noticed we're 61 laps into this, finally. This doesn't seem to be going that slow. Even with the restarts. Which is nice. Also, we're about halfway done with it. Panos, slight mispronunciation. Same flavor of the alphabet. Can't wait for the funny number, lol. That was a little bit sloppy. I think at the funny number lap, I'm gonna use the restroom because I kind of gotta go. But I'll pause it at funny number lap because, yeah. Oh, what kind of card is? Well, it was a silver one I passed. As I said, Panos. Panos Esperante GTR1. It was the first car I tested for this event, but unfortunately the tire wear is just too trash on it. Well, the grip levels are just trash in general, so unfortunately I couldn't use it, even though I like it. What do I think of the possibility of GT7 being on PC? If it does come out on PC, that'd be nice, but it definitely won't be around release time. It's going to be like at least a year later, if it happens. I still have high doubts that it will happen at all. I'm really wondering how it'll perform if it goes on PC. Alright, about an hour 15 to go. Time check. Ooh. Not sure if I'll be able to actually finish this in time. Because my nephew is coming over in a little bit. And he is one loud boy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be crossplay if they do bring it to PC. Yeah, that's one of my points I'm bringing up as well. Sony's like... Oh, boy. Well, that's the first actual screw-up of the race, I'm pretty sure. Yikes. But yeah, Sony and Polyphony, they kind of want to keep them exclusive. And GT7 is like a big reason why a lot of people want PS5s, myself included. If GT7 didn't exist, I wouldn't care, like I couldn't care less about getting a PS5. Because there's pretty much nothing I care about playing right now besides GT7. And I don't think there will be anything I want to play in the future. I really think I might have to end this stream in the middle of the race. Well, not really in the middle, but towards the end, because I won't have time to finish it. But if I do, then we'll finish the rest of this tomorrow and then do a bit extra afterwards. Which will probably be the European one-make events. We'll start getting those knocked out. Car am I using? R390 GT1 Stealth. Yeah, GT7 is going to be on PS4, it's just... They won't have, I guess they're calling it ray tracing? I don't know, but... It'll be a graphical downgrade, of course. Probably have all the same features, because it's going to have to be crossplay between PS4 and PS5. Way late on the brakes there, looking at chat. Have I done the Mirage one-make race? I have. As far as like my progression of this playthrough goes, I have completed beginner and professional events, European events, American one-make races, Japanese one-make races, and special condition, easy and normal, with a couple endurances peppered here and there. I forgot to pit. Rip. I meant to pit on that lap. We'll see how much I suffer. Can you get GT4 on PS4? I know you can get it on PS3 if you have like the OG PS3, of course. I think people have ported it to PS4, but it might have bugs or other issues. I'm playing on PCSX2 right now. I use it way more than my PS2, just because I find it more convenient. Also, that understeer though. Oh no, I hit the cone when I failed. Time to restart. Except not. Steer! Steering wheel, Logitech G29. Alright, we are in the pits. We have reached lap funny number. So I'm going to pause it and take a quick bathroom break because I need it. Don't want to piss myself. Funny number. I have returned. All this talking is really getting to me. My throat's pretty dry and this monster isn't helping. Also, perfect fuel usage right there. Am I emulating the Driving Force Pro? Yeah, with the Logitech G29. If that's what you meant. I have a G27. Is it different from the 29? I never used a 27 before, so I'd imagine it's mostly the same. Just came back to lap 69. Nice. What track is this? This is Infineon, aka Sonoma. From Sonoma, California. That was a little rough. Yeah, just racing hards, not super hards. Bugged camera, lol. Looks just fine to me. People said I can't be a real streamer without a webcam. Or a face cam. There you go. A little too early on that turn in right there. What's the pit strategy? So, my minimum laps is 11 laps per cycle, but sometimes I forget to pit because it's borderline, so I could go an extra one, so sometimes I do. But recently, my stint was 13 laps, so pretty much anywhere from 11 to 13 is reasonable. But I have such a big lead now that I can pretty much just do 11. I could even do 10 if I wanted. The AI seem to, or at least the Salburn R89, they are pitting every 13, 14, 15 laps, something like that. I already know what the prize car is. It's Ford GT-LM. Not the mascot. Not the mascot car one, it's the one with the blue and orange livery. Not that good of a car, to be honest. Imagine doing this with the Gillette Vertigo. That would be pain and suffering at its finest. Because that thing does not like corners. What option is best to turn down if my game slows down from time to time? Depends if it's your CPU or GPU causing it. If it's your CPU, well, here I am doing tech support, or I didn't want to, but whatever. If it's your CPU, then there's not really much you can do. But if it's your GPU causing it, then just lowering internal res or blending accuracy. And that's pretty much all. Or turning off your shader. If I could get a 2022 model car free with taxes and shipping included, all you had to do is pay for gas, what would you get? Well, if you put it that way, I get a 2022 Bugatti Chiron, whatever it's called. Except no, psych, I don't want a supercar. I guess I go with a 2022 Ram Cummins 3500. Limited trim. Or maybe a Longhorn, I don't know. I like both of them, but I really love the new Ram trucks. Super nice. And super expensive, so if I could get anything for free, it'd probably be that. Lol. I really do need a truck so I could just tow my FRS to track days instead of risk driving it and having it break at the track and then be screwed. So hopefully one day I can make that happen. I have a friend who has a 2022 BRZ, and I guess I like the interior more than my FRS, because I have a 2013 FRS, if y'all don't know. But I don't like the fake engine noise. I don't like the exterior look as much as the old one. But the updated power delivery does seem a lot nicer. Mark IV Supras are overrated. I gotta be honest. They only mean anything when people dump like 600 plus horsepower into it and put drag radials on. They're pretty trash around the track and they look okay at best, but compared to other Japanese cars, never been my favorite. And the instant something becomes a meme car, it's whenever I start liking them a lot less. Just because everybody associates said car with said meme. In this case, Supras, with people being like, is that a Supra? Is that a Supra? Is that a dead meme? Yes. Thanks for ruining my... or, well, the only love I had for the car beforehand. Same thing goes with Fast and Furious cars. Skyline, the R34 was one of my favorite cars at one point because of Gran Turismo 2. Not because of the Fast and the Furious, but now every time somebody sees an R34, it's like, wow, it's the Paul Walker car. Because that's all they associate it with, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess. But once you start hearing it for years and years, it seems like that's all people like the car for. It's just like, okay, I'm kind of done. You know what I mean? Best budget analog sports car, the E46 M3. Yeah, I like E46s quite a bit. As well as E36s. They're really good chassis, but everybody kind of builds those as far as like people who build cars go. Not really unique, but very common. R33 over R34. I don't know about that one, Chief. I will say though, Nismo 400R beats any R34 Skyline, or tuned one, I should say. Nismo 400R is sexy. Screw your Z-tuned R34s. Can I do the camera hack on this? Well, depends on what camera hack you're referring to. Change your tires. I got a little bit more life left in these. Even though I'm under steering now, but I got a little bit more life. Immediately goes off track. The CLK GTR isn't a Group C car. Yes, I am from America. Hell yeah. Bald eagles, cold beer, and guns, and milkshakes, and cheeseburgers, hot dogs, etc. Zoom hacked one XTG did. Well, it's not really a hack in the game anymore, because you could just change it with the hidden options, like I did. So this is what my chase cam looks like. In my hidden options, I changed. It used to be overscan factor 80, and that was it, but now it's overscan factor 95 and distance 240. That's all I changed. And also, I just changed aspect to 1. So that's all you really need to do now. And I forgot to pit again. I keep doing that this race. Accidentally going 13 laps. Yeah, and also the R33 LM road car is pretty cool as well. I think it's a little too wide for my taste. I used to be like a racer-esque with being obsessed with wide bodies on literally everything, but my taste has changed drastically over the past few years. Especially after I started watching certain YouTubers like Tommy F. Yeah and Adam LZ. They have some really nice builds. Tommy F. Yeah does the best builds on all of YouTube, and I'm obsessed with it. Makes me want to FPS spec my FRS. Like that's even possible because FRS. Yeah, as far as the tuner car goes, R33 does not have as much potential as a 32 or 34. The chassis just isn't as good. What was the wheel they used to promote the game when it came out? Probably Driving Force Pro or GT Force. I think it was Driving Force Pro. I don't know if that came out when the game came out or if it came out later. Oh wait, no, it had to come out when the game did, because there's literally an option for it. Yeah, I think the R92 is the best Group C design. A lot of the other ones look a little bit too similar to each other. Linus really improved the sim racing skills. What's up, Matthew Rogers? Now that those cones are gone on that, the approach to this hairpin, I kind of lost my braking zone a little bit, so it's kind of throwing me off. Gotta find a new way to judge that one. Crazy money cars be going for online auctions. Yep, gotta love COVID. Freaking ruining everything. And also, I'm pretty sure this is another big factor too. All the car manufacturers, they're developing fetishes for electric cars now, and that's all they care about, so real cars are going to be extinct here before long. And what we have is what we have, and they're slowly going to start disappearing by people scrapping them or crashing them or etc. Is the R390 the most economic car for tires? That I do not know. I've not done enough testing. This race is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Short race by GT4's terms, yeah, pretty much. As far as the longer endurance races go, I still have to do Motegi 9-hour, Tsukuba 8. Both of the 1,000 kilometer ones. Nürburgring 24-hour, Lasarth 24-hour. The Formula GT Championship. Is there any long ones I'm forgetting? I think there's another 8-hour that I'm forgetting somewhere. Got Motegi and Tsukuba. I did the Roadster 4 hours, so there's that. I don't know. Oh, and the dreaded 1,000 Miles Championship. I got that taken care of early on, thankfully. What's up, Rufus? How you doing? I've lost track how many times we passed the Panos. This is either the 4th or 5th. Always nice whenever I kiss that rumble strip right there. Just perfectly. And then just go off track right here, like always. Immediately jinx myself. I do have a tutorial for GT4 on PCSX2, actually. It's a little old. I did update a few things in the pinned comment, but it does exist. You can find it in my my PCSX2 stuff playlist. I should probably rename it, but that's what it's called. What car am I using? R390 GT1, but you've been here the whole time. Unless you're asking somebody else that. I don't know. Just in case. How often are GT4 online races taking place? It's been pretty active recently. There's at least somebody playing every day, but it's usually at random times. We usually organize them in the PS2 Online Discord server, which is linked in my GT4 Online tutorial video. That's pretty much where everybody communicates. There's no like separate servers for it or anything. Wow, that was just crazy understeer out of nowhere. But I haven't been on GT4 Online recently. Taking a little bit of a break from it. I should be streaming it Monday, actually, because I'm pretty sure that's when Rick does his race. If he does GT4 on Monday. Oh, I'm in the slipstream. Braking is... yeah. Didn't compensate for it. Well, this is awkward. This is awkward. Lol. You've been watching my regular vids but didn't know it was me? Sad face. No, I'm just kidding. I don't stream that often, but it's really... my schedule for it's really weird. Originally, this was supposed to be the last week I could stream before I returned to work, but I am not returning to work for another week, so next week is actually my last week of at least doing consistent-ish streaming. Because then I'll be too busy during the day. Time check. 4:43, I believe. Is that enough time? 45 minutes. I don't think it is. Crap. Is the AI normally this slow? Yeah, they're pretty bad on this game. Nope, got on throttle too early. Going rallying. And again. Trying not to hit that curb right there, because you saw my front end just shoot up. And right there, too. I really hope the GT7's AI is significantly improved. It'd be a real bummer if it's not. And they just pretend you don't exist again. Alright, time for another awkward overtake. Come on now. And somehow I'm able to overtake him whenever... yeah. So GT3 will be challenging. GT2 definitely not, because land wasn't a thing back then. Like, there is this thing called X-Link Kai where you can technically play online through the LAN mode, but as I have discovered recently, it's really, really terrible on GT4. Pretty much everybody has to be in close proximity as for like where they're playing from, because there's no real net code for it to compensate for ping and lag and whatnot. So if your connection's not perfect, it'll be really laggy. And it's even worse with GT3 because they don't have a LAN thing. They have like some kind of, I think it's called like an iLink cable that you use to connect like PS2s together. So I don't even think it's possible on GT3 at all. Or 2. Yeah, the Salburst sound on this game does not do it justice. There's really no good V8 sounds in this game besides the Falcon XR8. Maybe there's other ones I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, but that's the first one that comes to mind. GT40 sounds like a Harley Davidson motorcycle, lol. Did I give up on streaming Pro Street? Yeah, I kinda did, just because of like how many issues I had with it. The PC port of Pro Street is just so garbage as far as like user friendliness goes. The way there's no full screen windowed mode, which makes it a huge pain to use OBS with. Every time you click off of it, your computer has a seizure and scrambles your windows on your desktop. Also, I bumped the pan all this time, like, did it again. Yeah, it's just too much of a pain, and the way you mod it is just really annoying. A lot of mods aren't compatible with each other, and I had to reinstall the game like dozens of times trying to figure out what would work together and what wouldn't, so I just gave up. I'll probably still make videos of it every now and then, just haven't really recovered from the last time I tried it. I'm trying to look at my other monitor real quick for a time check. 450. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier in the race, I didn't think I would have enough time to actually finish this today, which seems to be the case. So, I wasn't planning on streaming tomorrow, but I guess I am going to wrap this up. So I'm gonna enter the pits, go ahead and end the stream for today, and then we'll be back tomorrow to finish up this race and also knock out some of the European one-make races while we're at it, just so we can have like a full-length stream still. If it wasn't for all those restarts at the beginning, I would have definitely finished the race, but I just tried to make it a little too difficult on myself, because easy races are boring. I say that as I do an easy race. Could have spent a little bit more time preparing for it, but it's whatever, I suppose. Let's not go off track for the final corner, thank you. Voice crack. Oh boy. That's definitely a sign that it's time to stop. Upon the first voice crack, because I've been talking too much. Anyway. I believe this is where we stop it for today. So, I think we're just going to go ahead and dive straight into it, even though, like, I probably could give it a little bit more time for people to join in, but oh well, it's their fault for being late. Ha 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 ha. Kidding, by the way. Some people don't have the ability to tell sarcasm. Let's hope I don't do too terrible right off the bat. Because I be like that sometimes. I'll be driving pretty decent, and then the very next day, I'll be terrible for quite a while. So, little race update, I guess I could leave. I am almost 2 laps ahead of the Group C cars, which ours is ours, yes. The R89C, Sauber Mercedes, C9, and the 787B. The other cars I'm racing against, I think, is the Panoz Esperante, and I don't remember what the last one was. I think it's the Corvette. No, it's the BMW V12 LMR. Pretty sure. No, it's not. It's a Pescarolo. Jesus, I can't freaking remember. But I remember now it's a Pescarolo. So, yeah. Pretty sure I'm 2 laps ahead of the Pescarolo. Actually, no, it is just 1. And then the Panoz, I'm like 3 or 4 laps ahead. So not too shabby. This R390's doing way better than the Zonda was. And I thought, like, before we did this race, I thought the R390 would struggle a little bit, because it is pretty weak in this game compared to the earlier GTs. Real shame I couldn't use the Panoz myself. It's just the tire wear was too bad on it. It was the car I did want to use the most, because I like it. It's just not that good, unfortunately. Cheese my way around the R89, but fail. I'll be able to do it here. I keep forgetting how low this thing revs compared to the R89 and R92. Same engine sound, but I'm used to those 2 cars, so I'm trying to rev it higher, but this thing just doesn't like to rev high. If I would have finished this race yesterday, then I wouldn't be streaming today, and instead I'd probably be installing the new exhaust I got for my car. I've been wanting this specific exhaust for a very long time. Finally got it, because it sounds nice, and one came up for sale for a solid deal, so I had to snag it. So I'm probably going to put that on after this stream is done, and make like a quick sound video for the other channel. R390 just not R390, R92. I always get everything mixed up because it's just random numbers and letters. But this guy just does not want me to get around him, huh? Finally. For now. What car do I have? It is the R390 GT1. Stealth. And there goes the R92 off track, lol. I need to quit getting on the throttle too early because that happens. Wow, I actually sort of saved that. And once again behind the R92. That's not the R92, it's the R89. Ugh. As I said, I keep getting them mixed up. Everything needs to have a similar name these days. Oh, in real life, herp derp. I drive a Cosworth supercharged FRS. I always have to point out that it's supercharged because when people hear the word FRS, BRZ, or GT86, they go, ew, gross, slow, Subaru Boxer thing. But no, mine's fast-ish. Because supercharged. Pretty nice. That was a awful hairpin right there. Probably the worst I've ever taken it. Looking at chat again. Oh boy. Hopefully I'm getting all these mistakes out of the way early on. We got 30 minutes left. It's funny how, like, in the first half of this race, I was completely dominating everybody, and now I'm struggling to get around them. And I can only get around that guy because I punt him. Because the slipstream maybe approached that corner a lot faster, and my braking zone was off. It really do be like that. That was nice right there. I'll have to give myself that. Oh boy. The Latina Seca Endurance. Kinky. I know you meant Laguna, but that was just funny. The 2000s GTO. Yeah, it's a solid choice. Good old Steve Jobs. Okay, why did I get on the throttle that early? That was just the worst. Ligma Seca. Wonder if I'll beat my best lap at some point in the remainder of this race. Probably not, but it's a possibility. Lap 99, by the way. Almost a triple digit. Could have taken that a little bit faster. I'm always late for this one because the cones are gone. At the beginning of the race, I was using the cones for my braking point. And now without them, I kind of have to, like, adjust it. Approaching the 787 finally. There goes a Sauber into the pits, so we should be getting around him for like at least a couple laps before I have to go in. Up, 787 starting to screw up a little bit. How long is this endurance? 2 hours, 45 minutes, so I got 25 to go. Did most of it yesterday, but we're just finishing it today and then doing a few more extra events. Because why not? Don't want to do a 30-minute stream. Man, yeah, you gotta get the approach for that corner right. Is it Panos winning yet? Lol. Maybe when the Group C car's engines blow. And the Pescarolo. Maybe. Next up will be the last one. I've only been keeping up with lap count as far as my pit strat goes, so it might be, actually. Because if we do a bit of quick maths here, we're approaching just 20 minutes left. I can do... At most, I could do 13 laps on every pit cycle. Yeah, I think it's just one more. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my extra lap now, instead of like wait and then like have it be way too bad at the end. It doesn't matter either way. I mean, I have a good enough lead, so. Well, you don't need a PC to play this. PS2 still exists, as long as you can find one. And took out that weird cone finally. Custom texture for the Minolta was so cool. Well, now it's the Desno, not the Minolta, but thanks regardless. Technically, the name for it's the 88CV, but yeah. The game just gave it that name because of the sponsor. Like it does for a lot of the other race cars, now that I think about it. There's somebody else that's also making custom textures on GT4. He did Darius's R8 from Carbon, Rachel's 350Z from Underground 2. Like, of course he can't throw body kits or whatever on it, but I think he did the Opera Performance Z, something like that. He put Rachel's livery on it, or vinyl, or whatever you want to call it. And it was like, it was pretty well done too. Apparently he does Assetto Corsa mods, so. Maybe you'll start seeing some cool shit popping up for GT4 here pretty soon as far as texture mods go. And I believe this is the final pit of the race. Just gonna throw on our last set of hard compounds. Still trying to do some math here. It's gonna be close. Maybe I'll have to stop again and throw mediums on because that's all I have, but I don't know yet. GT4 online through LAN? No, it's not. It's the actual online beta that Polyphony released. It's done through that. It's like a different version of the game, I guess you could say. Yeah, it was actually a Le Mans Quattro thing, which is the model that's in this game too, so it's fitting. I don't know what that word means. To be safe, I don't try to pronounce non-English words, because for all I know, it could mean something evil, like that word you can't say, etc. That word you can't say, or else you'll get crucified by the internet. Oh wait, I forgot. There's like 30 of them you can't say at this point. Because we live in 2022. Always real satisfying when I could do the S's pretty good on this track. Unlike Suzuka, this track has good S's, and they're fun. Unlike Suzuka. But I completely botched that up, didn't I? Oh boy. Kiss the grass on the outside there. Please stop wheel spinning. It's like whenever I make one mistake, then I have a chain of mistakes, like, for the rest of the lap. Trying to recover. Nice driving, I know, right? Big cap. Oh boy. Oh, he said it. He said it. He said pro driving stats, or strats. Is Gran Turismo 4 in 4K? Originally, no. For me, yes. Not right now, because I have to make it lower a little bit to use OBS. But whenever I'm not streaming, yes. Yeah, turn 1 is really tricky on this track. Not my favorite part. Or the turn up here, I don't know what turn number this is or what it's called, but I'll point it out when we get to it. Here we go. Wow, that stopped my car immediately. That was impressive. This corner right here, I am garbage at it most of the time. It's just a weird one. Other than that, I really like this track. I wonder how much better I can get with cornering if I just tune the diff on this thing. Because the moment you get on the throttle, it just wants to drive straight instead of keep rotating like a lot of other cars do. Just upgrading my PC for PCSX2 has allowed me to play the game and not have the cars look like NFTs. Imagine making an NFT of a car. People have joked about like making NFTs of their own faces. That whole thing is just, or that whole fad, I should say, is making me lose faith in humanity, if I'm being honest. Omega cringe. It's all just one big money laundering scheme. That's just what I like to believe. Sunshines with the $2. Toyota Supremacy. If you're referring to my FRS, then yeah, I gotta agree. FRS Master Race. Probably not. I don't know what the Toyota came from. Toyota, Nissan, Jaguar, BMW, Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Nissan. Well, there's a notification, finally. Streamlabs being slow today. Toyoba, or Toyota. Well, I'm not going to be sharing an ISO, and I also don't want people discussing piracy in my comments, because that could be a YouTube TOS thing. So, whenever it comes to stuff like that, I won't give any information for. Because believe it or not, you can use your actual disc, physical disc, to play a GT4 on PCSX2. You just pop it in your disc drive and play. Or, if you don't have a disc drive, you can find someone that does, rip the ISO using image burn onto a flash drive or something, and bazinga. But other than that, I'm not providing any download links for an ISO. As far as my PCSX2 config goes, all I can say is check the descriptions of my other videos. I don't think I'd leave it in the description of the streams because it just makes it too long. But all my settings are in the description as far as that goes. And also another super chat. Oh boy. I'm getting rich now, finally. Not much, but here you go. Thank you, I appreciate it. Regardless. Is that a picture of me staring? I don't know, is it? ASMR time. I don't know if it's still on Amazon, but I bought 3 copies of GT4 off Amazon, like, last year. They are in the description? Alright, cool. I also have a tutorial video too, but it's not really necessary to watch that anymore. Could just copy the description as well, but I do leave a bunch of extra information in there. It's a little outdated, but everything I need to update is updated in the description of that video or the pinned comment anyways, so. Anyways, I think that's enough tech support talk for today. Linus Racing Tips. We've got about 7 minutes to go here. Will my tires hold? Find out next time on GT4. Not enough letters to make it accurate to the original reference. Big rip. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. What do I think about GT7? I've had to give the opinion quite a few times, but pretty much, I'm excited for it regardless with all the new stuff they're adding to it, which everybody knows what stuff it is because they've probably been keeping up with it more than I have. I'm excited for the same things that everyone else is excited for, pretty much. The only complaints I have that I haven't seen other people have so far is I don't like how they're just recycling the GT Sport HUD and most of the user interface. I wish they made it new for GT7, but I don't know. It's just going to make it feel a lot like sport in that aspect. And the classic tracks, the ones they're bringing back, I understand like they're not going to be the exact same as they used to, but I think they're changing them a little too much just for like the only reason they're doing it is so like they can be used online. And they said they were going to be focused on like the career mode for GT7, but it doesn't seem like that if they're taking all the tracks we know and love and ruining a lot of the fun parts of it. Because those tracks had good flow, they were really fun to drive, and now it's just, I don't know, it seems like a lot of the good sections are being ruined. Yeet Chicane on Trial Mountain, for example. A lot of the elevation change in Trial Mountain too. Seems like they flattened it out quite a bit. Deep Forest, that extension into that weird hairpin now, that was just why. And the final turn was also ruined. I probably should have pit and thrown on mediums. Rip. But yeah, I don't know. The main things I want is actual endurance racing again. Even multi-class endurance racing would be nice. Because they are bringing back daytime and weather cycles again. So why would they bring those back, but not endurance racing? It just makes no sense. And that means you could also race nighttime with weather on any track, which will also be pretty sweet. That's just the main thing I want, and a solid career mode that isn't too easy. I want a challenge again, as far as licenses go and driving missions. Just making it a challenge again. Not every single casual has to be able to 100% every game anymore. But they want to release games like that now. By they, I mean like pretty much every game dev at this point. Alright, well, that wasn't our last pit. Also just slam into the wall, nice. We're going to throw on mediums for the last couple laps. Miscalculated it a little bit, but meh. Well, if we're going to get a fastest lap, it's going to be right here on the mediums. After they warm up, of course. Y'all think I'm going to get a record lap on these tires, or did I just jinx myself? Knock on wood. Good thing my rig is made of wood, lol. Got wood. Oh, wait, I'm way early on the throttle right there. Did they actually add back, like, GT4 style driving missions, or are they more like GT5 and 6? If 6 had any. I never played 6, because stupid freaking download bug where the game gets bricked whenever you try to install all the updates. Predict a 119.5, we shall see. Pretty much got time for 2 more laps, so I'm gonna like try to concentrate real hard for these last 2. Read chat a little bit less, forgive me. I got one more lap after this, Daniel. Barely. This is definitely a best lap. 118.499, nice. Almost a full second faster than the prediction. I definitely won't be beating it with this one after that screw up on turn 1. Stupid Windows 10 notifications, I don't care. My best lap. Oh, come on, grip, grip, grip. Over revving again. That's one thing I like about iRace. Well, that's not one thing I like about it, what you commented, but one thing I do like about iRacing is that, like, the AI doesn't control the cars at the start of the races, so it would be cool to have something like that, at least for, like, the higher ranked racing. Not for, like, the casual online races and stuff like that, where the players actually control their own cars, going through the pits, getting in the starting grid, all that stuff. But yeah, there you have it. The race is done, by the way. As I was talking about random gibberish. 500,000. Cha-ching. Gonna save the replay so I can get a thumbnail later for the video. How's the race going? 2 seconds later. Oh, it's done. And it's gone. Anyways, prize car. What are we going to get? It shall be Ford GT-LM, the inferior of the GT-LMs, because I already have the Spec 2, aka the mascot car, so this one's kind of pointless. But hey. Fordo Gordo. Where is the freaking acquired date? That's what I was looking for. Herp derp. There we go, the Fordo. Doesn't want to give any information here, but whenever you go to this menu, oh look, 615 brake horsepower. Lol. And with that, stay tuned for more Gran Turismo 4.